So we walk from there.
From the tree to the anthill.
Anthill.
Yeah.
I want to just stop here and
Yeah.
discuss a little bit here.
Aren't you sort of scared to be walking like this? Because I am scared. I mean, I know I am supposed to be used to this, but still get very creeped out if there are snakes or if there are rats or something. I always wear my gumboots.
So interesting, isn't it? Our urban cultures, okay, taking us away from what naturally exists. Okay, we have been living in midst of grasses, maybe for 10,000 years. Okay, we have become settlers. We have been walking in grasslands, forests, etc. See, what you are actually standing, it's a grass. Okay, it is called garike hullu. Okay, it is called Durva grass. Okay, it's a dove grass. Okay, garika. Okay, in various languages it is called it very, very differently. Okay, and of course it stands in midst of other weeds. Okay, you can see here. Okay, there's a parthenium. Okay, there's a crop standing there, cover crops, etc. Okay, but over a period of time, okay, what we did was we thought this is interfering in our cropping pattern. Okay, what happened is that thought of interference, we thought, okay, we need to do something, okay, to keep these weeds or grasses away from our crops. Okay, then we started evolving how to suppress them. Suppression is perfectly fine. Actually, they would regenerate. But what happens, okay, in a modern system, what we have developed over a period of last 100 years, I should say, is how to kill them. For example, herbicides and herbicides play a very important role in farming ecosystem now, and so are weedicides. Okay, where we don't want them to grow at all, and we want to spray them, spray those chemicals and kill them. We also don't really understand what actually grasses I've been doing for ages.
True, true.
You'll be surprised to know, Naveen, that 1/3 of terrestrial carbon. Okay, what is a terrestrial carbon? Carbon stored on soils, on the earth, actually resides in grasslands. Okay, maybe 1/3. Okay,
I didn't know this.
So
Yeah.
let's define what is a carbon. Okay, so all the carbon actually is in air. Okay, nature evolved a mechanism where how to capture that carbon, put it back to soil, so that plants and trees can grow. So that's a nature's mechanism. So we talk of lot of issues with climate, isn't it? One of the biggest issue in the climate is carbon dioxide emissions. So a lot of industrial processes, a lot of automobiles, agriculture, they all emit carbon dioxides, and it goes to air. Okay, how to put that one back?
Correct.
Okay, one of the easiest mechanisms have been grasslands. Grasslands have been carbon sinks. Okay, how a grassland works, for example, grasses like this, how they work is the root system is very dense. Okay, root system is where in a grasslands where the carbon gets stored. Okay, and for example, a fire happens, actually only the foliage, very small amount of foliage gets destroyed, and grasses have learned how to regenerate from a fire. Okay, for example, you get a cow and graze it. Okay, they actually regenerate. Means what is happening, that root system is developing forever. One estimate says, if you got a 1 acre of grassland, around 1.5 metric tons of carbon dioxide gets sequestered, gets stored in the soil every year. So that's the capability of a grassland. Of course,
just for like comparison perspective, what is that if we had to plant trees? How many trees will that take, or like?
see, tree plantation actually, other than forests, where we go and plant trees on roadside, we try to make up for some of the biodiversity loss. Forests actually sequester carbon, in the foliage, not on the root system. Okay, fires actually creates a big issue. For example, today, why Amazon forest destruction is considered to be very bad? because all the carbon actually gets stored in the foliage. So in the grassland ecosystem, it is very different. Actually, the roots store the carbon.
Understood.
So therefore, any fire incidents in a forest ecosystem, actually it's a disaster, because all the carbon is in the foliage. You can see in the tree, if you look at this tree now, it's a peepal tree, okay? Yeah. And it's 80% of it is moisture. In 20% of it is, actually wood. Okay. Now when it gets, destroyed by fire, all of it actually goes to the air.
Correct.
But in grassland ecosystem, that doesn't happen at all.
Just
Grassland, like I told you, supports two systems: grazing, and also it supports when a fire happens, the carbon actually gets preserved in the soil, deeper and deeper, deeper and deeper. Roots keep going. It's actually 2 to 3 meters grassland. Ecosystems can go deeper. For example, prairie grass, American considered to be American grass, very deep roots. Those actually,
prairies.
prairies, and but we generally don't understand that. We continue to destroy, we continue to spray, we continue to plow. That's the reason plowing is considered to be a very bad, carbon sequestering intervention, because roots gets exposed, and sun action, takes the carbon dioxide back, to the air. Also, the grasses now, over a period of time, they have evolved. Not that they have stayed constant from what's happening. For example, look at this garike here. This is Durva grass, garike, garika, or wherever, whatever it is called. Even if you pluck it, you can't uproot the root.
It's very difficult.
Very difficult. You can pluck actually. So this is a garika grass.
It's
So
neat, right?
even if, let me say, if
It's
go
just the
little bit,
stem breaks.
stem breaks, and over a period of time they become such a hardy grasses. And it has evolved, and sequestering carbon at an enormous pace
Yeah.
and putting back to the soil.
So one doubt I had, maybe you can clear it for me, is that when it comes to forest fire, a lot of it is supposedly naturally occurring forest fire. Right? It is not like human causing. So was it always part of the world to have forest fire? Was it part of a cycle? And are we as human beings curbing it? Or do you think this intervention is needed, like you said, like forest fires, it is a lot of damage and it is not a great process for carbon sequestration also. So what is the way we go about it? Do we prevent forest fire, or is it a naturally occurring thing that we should just?
See, there are two parts, to look at it. If we take Yellowstone Natural Park, in US, the forest fires are never stopped. They are contained. So they are considered to be part of a nature.
Correct.
Nature actually, fire is happening, carbon dioxide is going back, to the air, and then the forest rejuvenate, sequester that carbon and put it back. That cycle was balanced.
Correct.
So now what has happened over a period of time, the forest ecosystem which existed started disappearing for various reasons, developmental reasons, expansion of human settlements, and lot of issues associated with industries, mining, and of course, so-called technology hubs, government promoted technology hubs. They take up thousands and thousands of acres of land, either a forest land or a grasslands. That's what is happening. So in the process, we have destroyed most of the lands. Now the forest fire actually is a double whammy. Should we prevent it, or should we allow naturally to allow it?
Correct. Yeah.
Now if we don't prevent it, whatever it is left, it is also gone. And there is no equivalent system to capture the carbon dioxide released in a forest fire and putting it back to the soil. Now we are trying to engineer, harvesting carbon dioxide, carbon in the air and putting back to the soil.
Correct.
Nature had that systems. Grasslands had it, mangroves had it, and forests have it. Now also they contain, for example, mangroves is the fastest sequestering system of carbon anywhere possible. But we are destroying mangroves. Wherever we go, we are just destroying it.
Just remove.
They're all going off, and forests are going off. Now the grasslands, we don't understand. We never understood grasslands properly.
Absolutely.
It actually exists in theory, exists in studies, exists in good papers.
Yeah.
What are we doing to our grasslands? For example, you take African savannas. The amount of carbon sequestration happens there is amazing. You understand, in a tropical, subtropical, if you take a equator, maybe 20 to 30 degree north and south,
South.
okay, is where the savannas
Tropical.
exist. Okay, they exist in Africa, they exist in North America, South America, okay, they exist in India. Okay, Deccan Plateau is a savanna.
Correct.
Okay, and they exist in Australia. So we are systematically over a period of time destroyed grasslands. Okay, also let's talk, no? What are the grasslands in Indian context? Okay, they are actually called commons, where the common lands, cows used to graze
Yeah.
and come back. They are not forests, by the way, okay? And we used to have thousands and thousands and thousands acre of, okay, grasslands. For example, near Tiptur, we had Amrut Mahal Kaval. Amrut Mahal Kaval was a 4,000 acre land, grassland,
Grace.
okay, and where cows used to go and graze. There was shrubs ecosystem, okay, there's a grassland ecosystem, and over a period of time 4,000 acres disappeared. Where did it go? Human settlements, encroachments, okay, government research stations, industry, everything that took away the grasslands.
I mean, I think we are also in schooling. I mean, I think in geography classes we had the prairies, savannas, and all that. But generally, if you see, grass means wasteland. Go bring some development there, or it's never seen as a thriving ecosystem or something so important. We've always seen like, okay, there's grass, cut it, put some trees, put some coconut trees, put some areca nuts. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. We never understood why grasses exist.
Yeah.
It's a nature way of balancing carbon in the air and carbon in the soil. Wherever actually you see a what so-called quote unquote wastelands, grasses exist. Why? Why grasses are okay?
Growing everywhere.
Yeah, growing there. There is a mechanism in nature where they're sequestering carbon continuously and putting back to the soil. The farming ecosystems, okay, actually destroying our grasslands faster than anything else. Allowing grasslands what they are, okay, rather than encroaching, okay, cultivating crops, destroying, okay, grasslands is a big problem, okay, right now what we face. But the solutions, not many solutions, honestly. Maybe preserve what we have, okay, preserve savannas. So our Deccan Plateau is gone.
Yeah.
Okay, in wherever we call savannas, okay,
It's gone.
south and north of, okay, equator, they are gone, okay, and we can forget Deccan Plateau, and most of the grasslands today they are in Africa and some part of Australia, okay, but what are we doing to that? Okay, we all know what's happening now. Most of the land in Africa, people are going and buying, okay, and converting into agricultural lands.
True.
Um,
That to large scale monoculture.
large scale monoculture, okay, be it bananas, be it coffee, okay, be it various, okay, aspects, okay, associated with farming. But only way I believe is I think we need to be a little bit more conscious on what development is and how we can actually go about doing farming. I think we need to grow a lot more cover crops, sequester a lot more carbon, put them back to soil. That's the only way actually we understand putting carbon back to soil. I think it's a very good way of doing it. I think we should continue to do that.
So, sir, this might sound a very silly question, but see, assuming this is where we want to cultivate, what do we do now? There's grass here. I think traditionally I would have just plowed it, removed the grass, fresh, nice red soil or something, put it,
Yes.
maybe put some cow dung, and we would have started.
Yes.
That's how I would approach this. What is the way where we can still go about while I mean, a little bit will definitely get removed, I'm assuming, as part of growing, but what is the solution here?
It is not very complicated. Okay, the question is not very complicated. For example, the lands what you see here, okay, we are growing a cover crop. Okay, and growing these cover crops, okay, what is this stem is all about? Now, this is a cover crop, okay. Now, what is this stem all about? What is this stem, okay, which is a cover crop we have grown? It is basically a carbon. So, how do we, these cover crops actually can sequester carbon,
And put it back.
flow it back and put it back to the soil. Okay. So this is a beautiful system exists,
Yeah.
but we need to change the farming practices. For example, before you grow any crop, can you grow a cover crop like this?
Is this a legume? What is the
It's
how?
a legume. Okay. There are a lot of cover crops. Daincha is an amazing nitrogen fixer and also amazing mulch generator. Okay.
Mulch, yeah.
Okay. So this is okay. For example, here if you look at this cover grass, so we have grown a little bit of a monocots also to generate a mulch enough mulch out here. Okay, and also we have got okay this Daincha variety, okay, which we have put in here, okay, which is becoming a mulch, okay, and we can put it back to the soil and keep building the soil organic carbon. That's the way farmings should
Go up.
sequester carbon. Farming we can sequester carbon, definitely possible. And also the way we do make manure also, it matters. For example, we need to grow a lot of okay hedge crops where we grow a lot of mulches and cut them and put them back to soil.
Correct.
Other way of okay sequestering carbon is a lot of agricultural waste. If you see we burn, can we chaff it and put it back to soil?
Correct.
That's an amazing way of giving carbon back to soil.
Is this a solution in North India also where
It
stubble
has to be a
burning?
solution. See, we need to take one village and demonstrate that sequestering the carbon by giving back the agricultural waste to soil is more beneficial to farmers than burning it.
Correct.
Okay, so there's no demonstrations. That's the reason we every year, okay, we have winter season comes, we keep shouting, okay, that hey, you know, lot of pollution in Delhi, lot of pollution in North India because of okay burning of agricultural waste.
So I mean, again, it might sound very silly coming from a city boy who's not got a lot of access to agriculture. But if I were to do it, I would think putting it back, the root is still there. A lot of it has seeds also. Won't it affect what I'm trying to grow?
It won't. Okay, typically what happens when you grow a cover crop, take this cover crop now.
Yeah.
This is upstandable, it's a cover crop, okay. So along with you can also sow daincha. Okay, when you plow it back, okay, and now this goes back to the soil, okay.
Yeah.
Now once it goes back to soil, maybe after 15 days, okay, it actually gets integrated to the soil. Now on top of that, you can grow crops. You can grow any crop. For example, you can grow cereals, okay, you can grow maize, you can grow, okay, anything you can imagine. Okay, that's exactly how it is. So therefore, growing a cover crop and plowing it back. And when crops are not grown, keep soils always covered with a cover crop. That is very, very important.
Yeah.
Grasses did that job. Correct. When the crops were not there, grasses actually covered the crop, covered the soil and kept it, okay, not exposed to sunlight and parallelly, okay, sequester carbon and put that one back to soil.
Do you think for a small landholding farmer, this is actually a viable practice?
Yes, it is. See, for example, let us assume you are growing maize, okay. Now, maize is taking a lot of, okay, nitrogen out of soil, okay. So, question is how do you put back soil, nitrogen back to soil, okay. Even a small farm, I am taking 1 acre farmer I am talking of, okay. Now, there are two ways to put nitrogen back, okay, to soil. One is you go to a factory, buy nitrogen, okay, that is called urea, put into soil, okay. Second thing is 78% of air is nitrogen, okay. Nitrogen exists in air. Now you need to have a mechanism to sequester that. Take that nitrogen, put it back to soil.
Correct.
Legumes, dicots do amazing job out of that. So therefore a crop rotation can solve this problem. Maize is a monocot, okay, a crop.
Yeah.
Can you grow, let me say, field beans? It's a dicot. So can you grow that crop? So therefore what is happening now, while okay you grew maize, okay, you harvest, let me say, maize, it becomes okay food for us, food for cows or food for whatever we want, and put back the post harvest of maize which we are burning right now to the soil. First step. Even a 1 acre farmer I am talking of. Okay. Now after putting that one back to soil, you return a lot of things to soil. Now you start with a dicot, maybe field beans.
How much time will that take?
No, the field beans crops, okay, there are 3 months varieties, 6 months varieties. There are a lot of varieties.
No,
okay?
I'm talking once we've cut the maize and put it back.
Soil preparation, everything takes a month, month and a half. Okay, we need to give that much gap.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay, putting that one back to soil, integrated. Okay, plow a couple of times, and then do a field beans. What field beans does is amazing nitrogen fixer. While you can harvest field bean, have it as a food, you can sell it as a commercial crop. Okay, and it generates amazing amount of mulch. Okay, lot of leaves which fall in actually creates a lot of soil organic carbon, and chaffing of it actually enables putting a lot of things back to the soil, and there's a commercial value to it.
Correct.
Selling field beans. So crop rotation systems we have forgotten. Okay, so that is one problem. The second problem in any farming ecosystem is, let me say, is it 1 acre, can it have multiple crops simultaneously?
Correct.
So we need to really start understanding cropping systems differently. One is either grow a maize or a field beans. Okay, keep rotating, monocot, dicot, keep rotating, keep giving as much carbon back to soil as possible. Start learning making manure, using cow dung, and agricultural waste, etc., giving back to the soil. That's one way of looking at it. Second way of looking at it is a very well understood concept. It's called step cropping. Okay, for example, a simple example I will give you. Let me say you got a coconut in a 1 acre of land. Between coconut, of course coconut trees generate some amount of shade.
Yeah.
Okay, if you can integrate 25 to 30 trees in an acre, and between that we can grow amazing bananas. While the coconut you are harvesting continue to grow, you can grow a short-term banana. So below banana, you can grow a lot of turmeric. Okay, so a lot of ginger. So I'm saying start thinking like this. So you can harvest what is the energy from sun. Coconut tree is harvesting some energy, something is letting it down. Bananas harvest it, and below that there are crops we can actually survive in less sunlight. Okay, and a lot of energy is not required. So you could do step cropping. There are a lot of examples of farmers, generally 1 acre, half an acre, quarter acre. They have done profitable farming. Very intensive, profitable farming is possible. Some of the demonstrations what we are trying to make in Devarkadu is that. Okay, is it possible a person with 1 acre do farming, 2 acres do farming, 3 acres, 5 acres, 10 acres, different models we can evolve. But one thing we need to keep it in mind is our ecological balances when doing farming. One farming practice which is applicable in Punjab is not applicable in Tamil Nadu. That is wrong. One solution fits all is wrong. Technically, we have got 15 agro-climatical regions in the country. 15 ways of lands, soil conditions, rain patterns, and traditional practices exist. So we need to actually start looking at those 15 areas differently, and start growing crops relevant to that, and start doing agriculture or a farming in a way where that agro-climatic conditions suit.
Correct. How does a farmer know this is the best method? Because is there any mechanism in place to teach them about this, or how, say, root system works, or how banana under coconut is a great model? How will they learn? Because traditionally, I think we've just gone ahead and done what our previous generation has done. What intervention can happen to educate and bring this understanding?
See, only intervention, in my opinion, is demonstration. So especially in the farming systems, we lack demonstrations. Have we proven that 1 acre, somebody has made money? Can we show that? So making money is not the ultimate goal, but making money consistently over a period of time demonstrates that farming practices are good. Okay, one thing. Second thing is cropping patterns are good. And sustainably over a period of time, consistently they are able to generate that amount of income. We need models. No matter of explaining root ecosystem, no matter of explaining anything else won't work. Set up models. There should be one model for every village. So that's the village should become, that model plot should become a learning center for farmers. They look at it, hey, that guy is living good, that guy is making money, oh, that soil is good, children are going to good school, okay, farmer has a good housing, farmer can afford good transport. So all those things, okay, in the modern world which are required, they are very, very critical. But only way we can demonstrate, okay, your question is by showing examples,
Successful models.
successful models.
And just talking about successful models, so you have been doing multiple projects in multiple places. Have there been instances of failure also where we've tried to execute one model, didn't work out there?
Yes.
Yeah. Can
There,
you?
there have been instances, okay, for example, most of the failures, okay, we assume that labor can do the job. That is wrong. Especially in farming, labor driven systems doesn't exist. Okay, they never existed. Where the farm land owner was the first, okay, person who used to grow plow and grow crops. But over a period of time, okay, these people actually started looking at other jobs and labor came in. When the labor came in, capacity building, what is capacity building? That's understanding of that land, understanding of that crop, understanding of cropping patterns, okay, understanding of manure requirements, everything started losing. Okay, so the failures have happened when you become an absentee landlord and you employ labor. Okay, and this is a wonderful recipe for disaster in farming, okay, especially in smallholder farming.
So, like, just to sum up about grassland, what do you think can be from a policy level the solution here? Like, because one, there's definitely a lack of awareness on the importance, but also I would assume there would see when it comes to forest, again, I might be mistaken, but there seems to be at least a lot of conversation on how we should preserve trees, how they are essential. From childhood we are told, this one tree is the solution to a lot of things, from rain to oxygen to everything, but there seems to be like absolutely no conversation on grass, which is perhaps doing same amount of work or not or more. So, what do you think can be from a policy level solution to this, or not just policy level, from school, any kind of program?
See, it's a very tough question, to be honest, okay. It needs to be attacked at multiple levels, okay. We need to have proper pressure groups. Which is the biggest pressure group, you tell me? The biggest pressure group is vote bank, okay. And are we aware of, okay, these challenges?
Correct.
And which is the biggest pressure group? In my opinion, consumers. It is their best interest, okay, to get a food, okay, which is cheaper, which is, okay, good, okay, which is nutritious. Okay, grasslands actually make it happen.
I would just intervene saying, at this point, we want food that is not harmful.
Yes. So the question is, consumer is not aware of it. What are the next level? Bureaucrats. Recently, near Chalkare in Chitradurga district, very near here, we handed over some close to 4,000 acres of land to one government development project. It was a Amrut Mahal Kaval. Kavals in Kannada is actually grasslands. Amrut Mahal Kavals were just handed over. Now they are building the fence around it. Now, what are we doing? Are we aware of the damage it is causing? Nobody is aware. So we believe a good fancy building, a good fancy factory, okay, good fancy, okay, research station is what actually we need. Indeed, it is not. So to your answer, there multiple level action is required. I think one policy change, okay, we can make is, can we preserve the grasslands as they are now? Don't disturb them. Okay, and no land is a wasteland. So that, okay, knowledge, okay, needs to seep in at a consumer level, okay, at a policy level, at a government level, at a bureaucrat level, and people like us, okay, we should actually keep talking, make awareness, okay, level going up at various stages, okay. Why I told consumers, okay, is where is the purchasing power today? Is a consumer actually.
True.
Now he starts asking people who are giving them the food, like take Akshayakalpa. Hey, hey, tell me, how did you grow your crop?
Yeah.
I should be able to tell them it is a cover crop. I sequestered carbon and put it back. So it's a little bit long, far-fetched, okay? But consumers have to do this. There's no other option. In my opinion, biggest change makers will be consumers. And second thing is our lawmakers. Actually, they should start thinking how to preserve the grasslands what we have, not destroy them. See, in Deccan Plateau, almost all grasslands we have destroyed. There are no grasslands left, okay? And savannas are gone. Only savannas are in Africa right now, a little bit in Australia. But can you work with policymakers and make this change happen is very, very critical.
And then consumer, how do we ask though? Like, okay, I say I might want to know, but when I go to a supermarket, if I ask somebody in supermarket also, was there like a cover crop involved? They'll just look at me and say, what nonsense, you take the brand that you like and go. So how do we push beyond that one level of question? Because that's my source, right? Like for me, it's a supermarket that I go to. I have a good relationship there. They might give me one more answer saying, no, it came from this source. That's it. So how do we as consumers get to know more?
See, very interesting, very interesting question. Honestly, I don't know the answer. Okay, let me think how to answer that. Okay, very pertinent question. What consumers should do? Before that, no. Okay, I would actually categorize consumers into three categories. Okay, one is called Uttama. Uttama is a topmost consumer. He is not a topmost spender. He is a topmost consumer.
Good that you
Actually,
answered.
yeah, actually, he is growing his own food, eating his own food. If not, he is not growing his own food. Okay, actually, he goes to visit farmer and figures out, hey, this is how it is grown. Okay, this is where I am getting my food from. Second, okay, category of consumers, they are madhyama. Okay, they are actually conscious. They don't have time, but they ask right questions. What is happening? What is not happening? Okay, why it is grown like this, etc. They try to make sense out of what's happening. Third category of consumers called adhamas. They actually doesn't really care. They believe that they have money, they can buy, okay, throw it. It is not true. So,
I feel like you're looking through me with that. It feels like you're exposing me with that.
see, but we need to acknowledge, okay, that issue. So now the question to your supermarket question, how do you answer? So your supermarket question actually is not a supermarket problem, it's a brand's problem. For example, there is a brand putting that product in the supermarket.
Correct.
They should make an attempt to educate customers. This is how my food is grown. This is how it was grown. These are the sprays used. Okay, this is the brand's fundamental responsibility. If brands don't take up that responsibility to educate customers, supermarkets will not. Supermarket is a trading point, it's an exchange point. But end of the day, brands are actually putting their products out there. Brands should make an effort.
I mean, in fact, recently there was a controversy regarding some pesticides found in masala powders and curry powders. And the argument that came was always like, we don't know what the farmers are doing. We have no idea what the farmers doing. And it felt like, again, the companies washing away, they're making the monies. And they're just like, earning crores and lakhs and whatnot from this product. But there seems to be no sort of like you have to acknowledge that there was a mistake also, and it's up to you to demand certain things from farmer. Like,
That's exactly the problem. See, if you look at law, no, so farmers we can't actually penalize.
yeah,
And the brand who is actually buying from farmers has to work with farmers and produce what they want. So if they don't do that, no, so blaming farmers is useless. So therefore, it's absolutely critical for every brand who is putting a food product in the market, go and work with farmer and make sure he makes money. And if he makes money, he will produce the food which is good for all of us. So once he is not making money, okay, now we are trying to blame him for everything. It is not true. It should not be the way we should approach this. So therefore, education of that customer who is asking which cover crop was grown, what the spray was used, is not supermarket's problem. Brand who is putting the product in the market should actually educate and explain consumers This is my product. This is exactly how it is grown. These are the farmers. This is how many farmers are making. This is the soil organic carbon in my farms where I am working with farmers. That's the level I think we should go, okay, and work with farmers.
And like from a consumer's point of view, if I am that person who's not going to get out of my house, I still look at brands telling videos and through videos and I know writing posts on LinkedIn and all that. And I am more convinced by the quality of the video and quality of the writer more than the actual truth of it. Unfortunately, I'm like, if they make a very nice video, there is sunlight in the background, farmers are smiling, I kind of assume I associate that as a good brand, but unfortunately that's not a reality, right?
See, that's basically is a marketing. Okay, we need to go beyond marketing on consumer education. Consumer education is not marketing. Consumer education is beyond marketing. Okay, we need to start talking about nutritional content of the product. If at all you have added preservatives, why are you adding preservatives? If you are adding acidity regulators, why are you adding it? Why are you adding artificial colors? Why are you adding artificial flavors? There are host of things which are happening. Okay, actually brands, okay, really struggle, okay, to communicating to consumers. So therefore, the marketing message, okay, good video, good this one. That's what we believe should be doing. In fact, it is not. Okay, and honestly, okay, if you ask me, okay, most of the brands lie to the teeth. That's the truth. And marketing messages are lies.
Yeah.
Okay, and we don't tell the truth to consumers.
I think we will be able to talk all day. There's so much to learn. But I think my key takeaway from this is going to be that as a conscious consumer, I can make change. And I think I need to start asking more questions.
Yes, it's very important. So you see the grassland conversation where it landed.
Yeah.
So how grassland is connected to the food we are growing. Okay, how a cover crop is connected to the food what we are growing. And end of the day, who is paying for it? The consumer is paying for it. Equip him to ask questions, right questions. It's very, very critical. Everything is connected in this world, starting from grasslands to cover crops to produce to, okay, packaging to everything is connected. I think end of the day, consumer is paying for it. Brand should equip consumers to ask right questions and right information, not to sell something which is a lie.
Okay. I think before the next rain starts, I think
Yeah,
we'll make our
let's get
way.
started. Yeah. Oh, ಹೇಗಿದೆಯಪ್ಪ?
ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿದ್ದೀನಿ.
ಹಾಂ, ಏನು ಸಮಾಚಾರ? ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀರಾ ಈಗ?
ಮಂತಲೆ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ.
ಮಂತನ ಇದೆಯಾ? ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ಯಾ ಈಗ?
ಈ ಮಂತಲೆ ಹಸ್ಗಳಿದ್ದಾವೆ.
ಎಷ್ಟಿದೆ?
3 ಇದ್ದಾವೆ.
3 ಇದೆಯಾ? ಸರಿ.
ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಮಾತಾಡ್ಸೋಣ ಅಂತ ಬಂದೆ.
ಸರಿ, ತುಂಬ ಸಂತೋಷನಪ್ಪ. ಓಕೆ. ಹಾಂ. One of our first employees.
Him, huh?
Yeah. Very nice guy.